And I'm like, nah, bro. I think this is the right call is to go for it. Now, everyone split. Some would have took the points, some would have went for it. I say, bro, you only won what we 3-7 at the time?
Yeah.
You're 3-7? What are we doing here? We're playing in Madrid against another team that only has like 3 wins.
Yep.
Man, if you don't punch this thing in their face and fly home the same night, you don't like what's going on here.
You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Sometimes the best episodes of Go Time Dolphins are the ones that aren't planned. This is a unplanned episode. What was meant to be in your feeds was an in-person episode between myself and Charlie talking about the best moments of Go Time Dolphins over the last 5 to 6 years. But due to bad Wi-Fi and I guess unpreparedness from Go Time Dolphins, we never really got to do the Spain recap in Spain. So we're like, you know what? We're both back at home. So why don't do the Spain recap now? So to recap everything that went down, not everything, to recap what can hit the airwaves in Madrid is myself, Kadeem Simmons. And as always, I'm joined by the host of Go Time Dolphins, Charlie. Tell them what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, we got a W. First international win, Kadeem. How's it feel?
It feels odd because I'm
Oh,
sure
my bad, bro. I should clear that up. It's not the first time the Miami Dolphins have won an international game. It's the first time the Miami Dolphins have won an international game with Kadeem Simmons and Charlie Touche at the stadium.
yes. And I think it's fair to say the Miami Dolphins done everything in their power to make sure that that wasn't going to be the case. I felt physically sick when the Dolphins didn't get that 4th and 1. But I'm also just glad to leave Madrid with a W. How do you feel?
Kadeem, I'm just glad to leave Madrid. Your boy ended up in the back of a cop car.
Very quickly, we haven't spoke about what happened Friday night. I knew of the situation, but we literally didn't speak about what happened Friday night. There's a part of me that wants to be like, let's save this for Patreon so we can get real into the nitty gritty and it never sees the light of day.
Bruh.
But and that's also kind of like, it's good marketing. Hey, sign up to the Patreon and you get the full details. That's what a lot of content creators / podcasters / YouTubers do. There's also a part of me that's like, do we tell the kid-friendly version on YouTube and save the rest for Patreon? But it's your story, so I will let you tell as much or as little as you want.
So we'll at least do this as a teaser. I'll tell a story after we do the recap. You know what I'm saying? But Charlie Touche ends up in the back of a cop car in the middle of Madrid. Craziness. We got video too, Kadeem.
We do.
But yeah, so about the game though, man. It was at a point we were watching the game, and I remember losing to Jaguars in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where they kicked it, and I just knew it was going in. And they ended their 21 game losing streak on the Dolphins. I remember that. So when Washington was hanging around, I'm like, this is not cool, bro. But then they missed that field goal. And since we're in Spain, España, you know me, no bueno, no bueno. You feel me? So
what's interesting? The guy I sat next to was a Spanish guy, and like decent grasp of English. But one of the things he could say was, "It's good." So as the kickers were like warming up, and they got it was like, "It's good," and you could tell it's one of those things where like he clearly learned that from watching the NFL. Same way when he spoke about interceptions, it wasn't interceptions, it was ints. Because it's INT yes.
Yeah.
So he was like, that guy got 3 ints, and I was like, I'm not going to correct you. So
I'll allow it.
You're like, no, bueno. Like in my head, I'm thinking it's good, but for the Dolphins, not for the Commanders. But continue. Sorry.
So they missed the field goal, and like you said, Dolphins end up inside the 5-yard line with 8 snaps and don't find the box, Kadeem. Like, bro, what is going on? And I didn't watch the game back. I want to be clear. I didn't watch the game back. So maybe it wasn't 8 snaps, but it definitely felt like 8 snaps when we were at the goal line, first and goal, and couldn't get in. Now, maybe it was 5 or 6, but, bro, it was horrible. What stood out to me, Kadeem, was Achan does not go out of bounds when we're driving. And go ahead, what you got?
Apart from that one game when he did go out of bounds and it cost the Dolphins a win. It's funny how things work.
Can you imagine if we lost? Like, bro, you go out of bounds and cost us a win, and then you don't go out of bounds and cost us a win. So Achan ends up going out of bounds when he should have stayed in bounds to keep the clock running. Commanders have two timeouts and a 2-minute warning. So we're trying to get them to burn timeouts. Achan runs out of bounds. And then it's Ollie Gordon time. Except it wasn't Ollie Gordon time because McDaniel wants to get cute inside the 3 and give it to Achan. What happens, Kadeem? Achan gets hurt. The clock stops because of an injury, so the Commanders don't have to burn a timeout. It's 1:44 on the clock. We don't get in the box. All kind of things happen on one play, bro. All you had to do was play big boy football, give it to Ollie Gordon twice. Let's see what happens. No, that's not what happened, Kadeem. We don't get in the box, and here come the Commanders.
So very, very quickly, the Dolphins then do give it to Ollie Gordon, and it's blown up in the backfield. And it's funny, seeing Ollie Gordon walk off the field, arms outstretched. I don't know if he's blaming the offensive line or McDaniel, but he wasn't happy.
Hold on. What time are we talking about? Because I thought Achan got hurt on the 4th down, no?
Achan got hurt on the 3rd down, which stopped the clock. And then 4th down, because so like Achan, my thinking, I don't know if yours or others, Achan gets hurt to stop his clock. The clock has stopped. I'm like, yo, it's 4th down. Kick the field goal. Because again, Achan's injured. I'm not even thinking about Ollie Gordon. So when Ollie Gordon and the offense are on the field, I'm thinking, are the Dolphins trying to make them like jump the snap and try and reset the downs?
That's what. No, it wouldn't reset the downs because it was 4th and goal. But that's what Bert thought. So Bert was there with us, and I'm like, nah, bro. I think this is the right call, is to go for it. Now everyone split. Some would have took the points. Some would have went for it. I say, bro, you only won what we 3-7 at the time.
Yeah,
you're 3-7. What are we doing here? We're playing in Madrid against another team that only has like 3 wins.
Yeah,
man, if you don't punch this thing in their face and fly home the same night, you don't like what's going on here. So no, we didn't. We actually didn't punch it in their face, and we didn't get to fly home as fast as we thought we would. Actually, we did, but still, we don't get in.
So everyone says you take the field goal and you trust your defense to get the stop.
Which I disagree. I think you should have went for it, but go ahead.
Because there's also times this season when the Dolphins have taken the points, put
Mhm.
special teams and defense on the field,
Right.
and they've messed up. So
It's a
so
case
to
by
me,
case. It's a case by case thing. I don't think there's one answer that encompasses everything. I think it's case by case. And for me, in this case, I would have went for it.
exactly, in both situations, you're trusting your defense to get the stop. To me, the only difference is if you take the point, you're trusting special teams to not mess up and the defense to not mess up. If you go through it and you don't get it, you're trusting your defense to not essentially allow the commanders to drive essentially 98 yards, as opposed to trusting them to not drive at a minimum 35 yards, or depending on where they run the ball out. But yeah, it's one of those situations where everyone is, in my opinion, angry at the outcome of the play as opposed to the actual play, if that makes sense.
So now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure the chronological order of all these things because it's a bit hazy for me. Dolphins don't get in. Commanders get, I want to say like 50 yards, like and they get like midfield. Then they end up, that's the kick they end up missing, right?
Yep.
So they miss, and then the Dolphins get an opportunity at the end of the game, right? At the end of regulation, correct? All right. So Dolphins get an opportunity at the end of regulation. We're not gonna go for the Hail Mary. I don't think it's wise to go for a Hail Mary with no time on the clock in the fourth quarter when it's tied, because you could Javon Holland this thing. Friend of the podcast, Javon Holland that thing. So I'm like, yo, you have an opportunity here where, and me and you were just talking about this, Kadeem, where, yo, how come more teams don't draw up plays? And I believe, and we'll fact check this. I've done it before and I couldn't find anything that went against it. And I actually thought I heard this before, but I believe the Miami Dolphins were the first team ever, okay, ever to do the hook and ladder. Technically, the hook and ladder rule is called, but
Successfully, I guess.
No, I think first team ever.
Okay.
Here goes Kadeem with the someone had to be first. Like football's
No.
only 100.
No.
Hold on, football's only 100 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Genuinely, I was saying, like, are you saying the first team to
First team to ever do it,
and to do it successfully, or the first team to genuinely attempt it?
Technically, a successful hook and ladder is just a completed pass that had a completed lateral. That's successful. It doesn't mean it had to go for a touchdown. But I believe the Dolphins were the first team to ever do a hook and lateral. And that was in 70 something. You know what I'm saying? But that's here nor there. That being said, I wonder why more teams don't have more plays that lateral when the game's not on the line, because teams don't expect it. I know it's more high risk, but the same way we got this rugby style tush push going on, obviously is not like the football we're used to seeing. I thought a team would be more strategic with this lateral thing. Like, nah, bro, we're gonna start lateral the ball more. And so here go me and Kadeem in the middle of Madrid. Hold on. Here go me and Kadeem in the middle of Madrid talking about, yo, I wonder how come teams don't do X, Y, and Z more. And I came up, I had this idea like, yo, I think teams, when there's like 10 seconds on the clock, no timeouts, 15 seconds on the clock, 5 seconds on the clock, no timeouts, or a little more than 5. I think teams should start throwing balls, let's say all the way to the left sideline, and then run towards the middle of the field with someone waiting on the right side of the field for a lateral, just so you could get out in time. Like, that's just the play I would draw up. Like, no one sees it coming, but go ahead. You found something on the hook and ladder?
1982 Dolphins v Chargers looks like the first time a hook and ladder went for a touchdown.
I thought it was the 70s, but cool. Hook and ladder. Again, it's hook and lateral, but short. It just became the hook and ladder. So cool. So here goes right on time. Actually, I got dog jersey on right now. Shout out the number 17, Jalen Waddle. Right on time, Mr. Stonehands shows up, and I look at Bert. That's your man's. That's your man's. Ball hits him in the hands, bro. And he drops the ball. Like here we are on a game-winning drive, trying to get in field goal position. You have about 2, maybe 3 plays to try to do this. Successfully find the out of bounds, the out of bounds line to stop the clock. Washington is not playing the sidelines. Like I'm like, yo, you don't even have to do that. When you're watching the game, you don't know what the defense is really looking like. When you're at the game, I'm like, yo, they're not even playing the boundary. We should be able to get like 10, 15 yards out of this. Waddle drops the ball. His second egregious drop of the game, by the way. We end up going into overtime. Kadeem, what happens?
Very quickly, when Waddle dropped the ball, I turned to Finn's Extra, Tim Carroll, and 5 Yard Lee. I was like, that's why Charlie wants to get rid of Jalen Waddle. Like it's for stuff like that. It's like, dude, you can't drop, like in that situation, you can't drop the ball.
And a 3, by the way. We talked about this. A 1 and a 3. By the way, it's not like Josh Allen was going to be some super saiyan of a quarterback because he got Jalen Waddle. The same Jalen Waddle that can't drop the ball in subtropical climates. So this same Jalen Waddle is going to go to sub-zero climates and catch all the passes, or he's not going to be hurt at the end of every play. Like, bro, get that 1 and the 3 and let's get moving, bro. Like the man's always injured, always limping off the field, always dropping passes. Nah, bro, I don't need that, bro. So yeah, man, I'm ready. I was ready. We should have took that 1 and 3, bro.
But yeah, so Dolphins on like 4 seconds left on the clock, 2nd and 10, try something, it doesn't work, goes to overtime. And what's interesting is the Dolphins win the toss, and Tua says he wants to kick the ball. Now, everyone around me is going, what are you doing? And I'm like 99% sure they changed the rules. So whether you receive or kick the ball, both teams are going to get the ball. But what I find even more interesting is after Tua says, I'm going to kick the ball, he gets into argument with the referee. And it reminded me of, I can't remember the exact game.
Carnell Lake and Jerome Bettis. I watched the game live, seen it live, and heard him call it live. I'm like, no. But go ahead.
No, I think the Chiefs played someone like
my bad.
last.
I thought you were talking about the coin toss fiasco. But go ahead.
No, I know I was, but I'm talking about more recently.
Oh, you talking about the Dallas Cowboys where he said defer?
Potentially, but again, it's one. The example I'm thinking of is recently, and it's if you aren't specific about what you say, you're going to mess up. And I saw so many people on social media blaming Tua for saying defer, assuming that if the Commander scored, the Dolphins weren't going to get the ball back. And I was like, it's a very simple Google check, but also they changed the overtime rules because Buffalo moaned about it. So yeah, I wasn't sure if whether it's playoffs only, but the Dolphins, the NFL in recent years changed the playoff rules, changed the overtime rules where both teams get the ball. And so many Dolphin fans on social media, in my offense, made it look stupid by just not using Google.
But I was watching it in person on a jumbotron. I'm like, what just happened here? I seen something happening. Like, what is going on down there? Tua stayed on the field, was talking to the ref. It was. I didn't understand what was going on. Long story short, what happens in overtime? I think special teams come soon, don't they?
No, that was before overtime.
That was before overtime. We got the fumble.
Yeah, so the fumble came after the Dolphins. So the Dolphins tried driving the field, punted the ball, and then that's when the Commanders didn't recover it. Dolphins recovered it, drove down the field, and then didn't score from the one.
Yeah, all right, cool. So all 3 phases. We talk about all 3 phases. This time, all 3 phases almost won us the game, but yeah, apparently we went in overtime after that. We get to overtime. What happens, Kadeem? Let's wrap it up so we can get to story time.
So very, very quickly, Buffalo complained in 2022, so they changed the rules that both teams get a chance to possess the ball during a playoff game, and then in 2025, they made it so that both teams get the ball not only in overtime but in the regular season. So it's a very recent change, but Google's your friend. I say that all the time. But the Commanders start with the ball. Marcus Mariota drops back, tries to throw a slant/drag. Jack Jones intercepts it, runs down the field, gets tackled, drops the Ronaldo Sui celebration, and the
Crazy.
Dolphin. Yeah, and then the Dolphin.
Bro, was that not like I almost said lit, but was that not serious, bro? Was that not dope?
I'm not a Ronaldo fan.
I'm not a Ronaldo fan either, and I think Messi is better. But I'm just like, yo, the timing of this, like the biggest play of the game happens, and this is when you pull out the celebration. I thought it was pretty dope.
Also, in a game where we arguably saw one of the most egregious defensive pass interference called against Jack Jones early in the game when dude done nothing.
That was crazy.
I will also say the one that they threw the flag on but brought back, where you pushed dudes out of bounds. I was like, why did you push dudes out of bounds for? Because they could have he had an up and down game, but when it mattered, he made the play and the Dolphins go on to win.
Hey, shout out to Tim Carroll for this. The crochet dolphin.
I got one as well. Miami Micah, that's his new tutor. He loves it.
Bro, you letting Miami Micah chew the crochet dolphin, bro?
We're not letting anything that you put in that child's hand goes in his mouth. I put my hand in his mouth. It's like there's no stopping it.
Michael's chew toy. He loves it. Tim Carroll, this will not be my chew toy, bro. I appreciate this. I'm not sure who made it.
He did.
If you made it, but this is super dope. For everyone who doesn't know, we mentioned Tim Carroll on the podcast, and turns out I'm on the way out of the hotel. Tim Carroll and family is on the way into the hotel, and I see Tim. Tim sees me. He points at me, and I'm like, okay, Dolphin fans. We both have Dolphin attire on, and I point at him, and simultaneously, we recognize each other. Like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And he says, Charlie. I'm like, oh, I don't know your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
That's the second time that happened to you over the course of a few days as well.
But hold on, bro. How am I supposed to know Tim's name? Like, I don't see him. I don't see him on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So he, shout out to Tim, had the same hat that I have on right now, had on a GTD hat. So now I look at him, I know he looks familiar, and I feel like I should know his name, but I've never really seen Tim before. You know what I'm saying? And to be fair, the only time I ever seen Rob was in a picture the size of a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really know what these boys look like, but appreciate them nonetheless. We got to put that out there. Go ahead, Kadeem.
Also, shout out to Nick in the fantasy group, or in the fantasy league, I should say, in the Irish Rover. I was walking past him. He was like, "Yo, you Kadeem?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, it's Nick from fantasy." I was like, "Oh, cool." First thing I did, get a photo, thanked him, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's just dope to kind of like have our fans, like I said, we genuinely appreciate you, but to also kind of go that one step further. And I knew quite a few people out in Madrid. Shout out to Edwin as well. I knew quite a few people out in Madrid, but the fact that just from walking in a fairly big city, you recognize us and said hello, forever grateful. So thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out also to Manel. Shout out to Richard. Met Richard in the airport in Dallas on the way back from the game. Smallest town in Texas he was flying to. His gate ended up right next to my gate, and I'm flying into the smallest town in the north side of the country. Is like, dang, we both just came back from Madrid. You know what I'm saying? We ended up at these obscure cities at the same gate, the gate right next to each other. So shout out to Richard. I think Richard's gonna come on to the podcast. I think Manel's gonna come on to the podcast too. Manel's from Portugal because that's where our flight went before Madrid. And I got a gang of stories, Kadeem, but I'll just give you this one. How you feel about window seats on flights, Kadeem? Like you've been on multiple flights. If you have a window seat, and you ever been on a flight and someone sit in your seat, and you're like, I think you're in my seat?
No, on the way back from Madrid, I was meant to be in the middle seat. And when I got to my seat, a mother got into like the window seat, and then her daughter was gonna sit in the like aisle in front of her. And I was like, "Hey, I'm by myself. I will happily swap seats with your daughter if she wants, because You should sit together. She didn't understand a word I was saying, so I was repeatedly going, "Do you want to swap?" And eventually they kind of understood. So I then sat in the window seat. I don't like flying. I hate the window seat because I can see out the window. And I'm like, I don't like this view.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to be selfish and stay in this one seat so mother and daughter can't sit next to each other.
So you benefited from having a window seat. You got the window seat as
Yeah, but
opposed
I didn't benefit. 'Cause I don't like the window seat.
that's arguable. But let's get into story time.
Sorry, how is that arguable? I don't like the window seat.
Can we get into story time, Kadeem?
I would love to, but very quickly, it's not arguable. I don't like the window seat. So for me, like, there's no argument.
Cool story, bro. So listen, shout out to LB, shout out to Bert. This would have been our 4th year where we had an international. We went to an international game. We made it a thing. Us as homies was like, yo, whenever the Dolphins go international, we're going international. The year that they don't go international, we'll go to an away game. The year that we didn't go to that away game, the game we were supposed to go to was the Baltimore Ravens 2-6 touchdown game, and we didn't go. Monkeypox became a thing, and we're like, nah, we're good. And now we regret it. Like, damn, we should have went. LB didn't make the trip this year. I was kind of sour about it. This is the first international game I went without LB. Didn't feel the same. Doesn't feel the same after the fact. I'm still kind of sour about it. All right. When I tell you, you just never know what you're going to get into in out of the country. You just never know. So being American, I'm gonna be real with you. I try to be hypersensitive when I go outside of the country to not be what I dislike about Americans, which is there's a lot of people in America that come off like real privilege. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with race, by the way. Let's not even go there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like some Americans that just Americanized and they think they can go to other countries and their laws follow them everywhere. Like it's not how it works, right? So I'm like, I thought Spain was going to be very little English speaking, right? And I thought the signs might not have so much English on it, right? And LB was like, so I was getting prepared for it. I like, hey, I'm gonna get prepared. You know, we're going to a country where we don't speak the language. So LB was like, nah, you're gonna be all right, slick, man. It's gonna be like Germany. And I'm like, oh, you're right. It was a lot of English speaking in Germany, a lot of English everywhere. Am I right, Kadeem?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm like, all right, cool. So let's get ready. We get to Spain, and in my opinion, I don't think they spoke as much English as I would have liked them to, right? I like, oh, I don't know, LB, you kind of messed me up because I was getting prepared for the Spanish, the heavy Spanish, and not too much English going on, right? So, we're on the trip. And it's the homies. We know what we're getting ourselves into. We know each other very well. I took a cab from the airport to the hotel in London, and Bert took a train, right? I'm like, oh, that's kind of wild. I would never take a train from the airport. I got luggage. If someone runs up on me and takes one of my bags, I can't chase them down because I got the other bags. So I wouldn't do that. But, this Bert is Bert. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. So on the way back to the airport, I like, yo, we got to take a Uber or a cab. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for it. Cool. It's like 109 pounds, Kadeem. I wasn't ready for it. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, crazy. So I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But it's the homie system, like the buddy system. It's the homie system because I paid for the Uber, because I paid for this cab. It came out to 109 pounds. Bert kind of understood. All right, I got the next couple. You know what I'm saying? I got the next couple. We'll balance this thing out a little bit. So we get to Spain, and he pays for the cab on the way to the room from the airport. It comes out to like 30 euros, and it's still an understanding. Bert got a couple cabs, a couple Ubers to pay for to catch back up, so we could balance this thing out throughout the trip. And when it comes to food, it's like, oh, I'm about to get something. You want something? We're not keeping tabs like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll grab you something to eat, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to an expense like Ubers and cabs, and you're gonna spend maybe a few $100s on your trip on cabs, we kind of try to ease the load. So we go out, we meet up with Kadeem, And in the middle of Madrid, Rob is there. I meet Rob in person for the first time. He has the Scouser accent. He doesn't think he has it, but he does. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Liverpool. Kadeem happens to say, yo, that's your best impersonation of a UK accent I ever heard, Charlie. And I appreciate that coming from someone from the UK. Shout out to Patty Pimblett and Meatball Molly and Darren Till. That's where I got my Scouser. Scousers don't get knocked out. That wasn't that good, but I'll work on it. You feel me? So we meet up with Rob and Kadeem. Kadeem, I'm spoiled, bro, from COVID. And I'll tell you why. Pre-COVID, I was one way. Post-COVID, I'm another way. Post-COVID, I like the fact that I didn't have to be around people during COVID. Like, yo, you know, you go in the restaurants, there's less tables. You go to this place, there's less people. You go over here, there's less people in your chest. You got social distance. I kind of like that vibe. And I'm more of a, yo, I don't like being up around people. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm on a trip, I'm not going to spoil the event and be like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. Like, I understand, like, we're a social setting. I'm cool. I don't let my social anxiety get to me in the social setting when, you know, we're out on a trip. You know, if it's just a personal, I'm out of here in 20 minutes. Like, be real with you. When we go out, Kadeem, I'm done with 20 minutes. I'm good off 20 minutes. But, yo, I don't see my dog Kadeem from across the pond. Let's ride this thing out a little bit. How long you think I stayed out there with y'all boys when we went walking around and stuff?
What, Friday night?
Yeah.
Couple of hours, I'd say.
I would say 2. So I just wanted to double check and see if maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was so like 2 hours. But Kadeem, I'll be honest with you, I was done after 20 minutes. It's just who I am, but I don't want to put that on nobody, right? So I don't know. Did it come off as if I was done, or did I play a role pretty good, right?
No, yeah, I thought you was fine.
Yeah, cool, solid, right? So, but I'm just not that social guy. So I'm like 2 hours in. All right, that's my time, y'all boys. I'm out. Hey, Bert, you think we could settle this tab a little bit with the Ubers? You think you could get me Uber back to the room? Sure, I got you. Get the Uber back to the room. Every Uber I jump into, see habla inglés? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. Oh, now I don't speak English. No English, no English. All right, cool. No English, cool. So I jump in the Uber. Hey, you speak English? No English. But dog pursues, like, go ahead and speak Spanish to me. I'm like, no habla español, papi. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he really caught it, because 5 minutes later, he still started talking to me again. So I had to hit him with the whatever else I got in my library, which is mi español es limitado, papi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got nothing for you. And he kind of looked at me like, damn, I wanted to talk. I can't talk to this dude. So we make it a whole trip back to my hotel. And cool, solid. Gracias, mi amigo. Let me jump out this Uber. Hey, hello. What we got? What's up? He shows me the phone. And there's a tab. You know, it's like, I don't know, 35 euros. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, dog knows I'm a foreigner. I don't speak the language. He's trying to get over on me. He wants me to pay him 35 euros and then take the 35-euro trip to, like, he think he's slick. No, papi, nah. Swipe, you know what I'm saying? Complete the trip. And he said, you know, we hand gesturing now, right? So I'm like, it's Uber, it's paid for. You gotta, you know, finish the trip. And he's like, nah, he's disgruntled now. So I'm like, let me go in my bag of Spanish that I got, right? Let me see if I could jug something up. Went in the Spanish library that I got. It's not that deep. Nah, I ain't got nothing for dog. We're going to Google Translate. Ready, break. Bring out the Google Translate. I write it in the Google Translate. I show him, and he shakes his head. Nah, we got a problem. So I'm not really understanding what's going on here, right? Clear as day, Kadeem. Clear as day. He shakes his head, looks at me, and says, in English, you got to take care of me. I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem. You gotta take care of me. It's not the Spanish line that I know. If I'm gonna know a line in Spanish, like it's not gonna be you gotta take care of me. So for dog to know English, the one English line that he got is you gotta take care of me. It was pretty clear. I'm like, yo, this is wild. Like, oh, he know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, well, let's figure this out. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, bro. Everybody's patience is not the same as the next. You know what I'm saying? His patience already ran out. I think he might think I'm trying to get over on him, but I'm not. I'm like, but I want to be also clear. I have patience for this because I am in his country. I am the foreigner. I actually have pretty good patience overall. And I'm like, yo, let's figure this out. What happened? Why are we in this situation? That's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to jiu-jitsu. That played a part in it. Shout out to Jesus. Jesus and jiu-jitsu probably played a part in the why I'm so patient. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. I cannot communicate to this guy, and he's done looking at my Google Translate. He don't want nothing to do with Google Translate no more. He is upset, and it's ticking. It's like the red like temperature gauge is going up. You can see he's about to be done with it. So I get out the car because I was about to go up to the hotel to see if they had an ATM. But as I get out the car, I realized what it would look like if I started walking away from the car. So I'm like, well, we can't do that. And I had to try to communicate, yo, I'm going up to get cash at the hotel. Dog don't want nothing that I'm saying. He not trying nothing. So I'm like, all right. We had like 4 minutes of downtime. Where's this? No communication. He's hot. I'm thinking how I'm supposed to communicate to this dude. I'm doing hand gestures like, look, you, me, that way. Point to the hotels. You're like, follow me to the hotel so I can go get you cash. You know what I'm saying?
He's not. Say something very, very quickly.
Let's go.
Interesting.
What you got?
When in London, you said you've noticed how like no one carries cash. Everyone pays by card.
Yeah.
And you said to Bert, when we get to Madrid, I'm gonna need to get cash out. And I was like, no, you don't. You'll be fired. You can pay by card. And you was like, nope. I want to carry cash on me. That's what you said in London.
Kadeem, I am probably the most risk adverse person you know. Like, I don't like taking risks in other countries. Not Bert is actually the most risk adverse person you know. But in another country, I don't want no problems with nobody. Not trying to end up in a Spanish prison. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, yo, bruh. So let's get back to story time. So look, yeah, I want to be able, anything can happen. My car could get declined because they think, this guy is fraud check. This is fraud out here, da. You know what I'm saying? Like his car is in another country. Anything. Let's go get some cash, right? I didn't get cash though. So now I'm like, dang, that's crazy. We'll put a pause in the story real quick because I'll share a little bit more information with y'all. When I go out the country, I keep my passport on me. I keep it on my person. Some of us be like, I don't know if you should keep it on you, Slick. You should keep it in the hotel room. So my logic, Kadeem, is, and let us know in the comments, should we keep the passport on us in when you go out the country, or should you keep it in a safe place in your hotel room? Here's my logic, Kadeem. I think it could get stolen out your hotel room, and then you're grits. Like, you're just done. You're toasted if your passport gets stolen or lost, right? So if you got some housekeeper that just goes off on the foreign and just steals some stuff, it's a wrap for you. Now, yeah, they have safes and stuff in the hotel rooms, but for me, I feel like I would rather keep it on me because the chances of me getting pickpocketed or mugged or robbed or something, it's there, but it hasn't happened before. So I like to take my chances with my passport being on me. So then here's the example I gave someone. And I'm like, yo, God forbid World War III breaks out while we're in another country. Like, it just happened to be day one of World War III breaks out, and we need to get to an American embassy. We're going to run back to the hotel first to get our passport, or we're going to go straight to an embassy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'd rather keep my passport on me. Maybe that's a lot of information put out there, but I wanted to give y'all my logic. That's cool, Kadeem? What you think about that?
Different, like, I have no thoughts on it is. I
Cool.
understand the logic.
Cool. So here we are. Back to the story. I'm playing the audio from Google Translate. You know what I'm saying? Like now he don't have to read it. He could just listen. I'm pressing play on Google Translate so he can hear AI tell him what I'm trying to say. He's not trying to hear it. Finally, 5 minutes later, he listens and he goes upstairs to the hotel with me, right? So we go to the hotel, and to be clear, the English was not that good in the hotel with the receptionist. It was enough to get us where we needed to get, but it wasn't all the way good. So, excuse me, the receptionist and this guy, the driver, is talking, and it's like they off the bat had an argument. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? They arguing with each other, right? And I'm like, when is she gonna ask me what happened? Like, yo, what's going on here? So I just wait for my time to not look like an idiot, because I'm kind of a little embarrassed by it, because part of this feels like this is on me, because obviously I'm the person who doesn't have the fare. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, bro, this is wild. Like, so she says, what's going on? She says, right? And I tell her, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got an Uber, but he's saying I got to pay cash, and I thought it was by card and da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, said something, but I was like, yo, I didn't order the Uber. Someone else got me the Uber. You know what I'm saying? So Bert got ran over by the Spanish Uber for that one. You know what I'm saying? So she like, oh, okay. So I'm just looking for an ATM machine. Do you have an ATM? She says no. Her and the dude start talking again. She puts on the craziest look at this dude. Like, yo, I'm done with this dude. Like, I don't know what they talking about, right? But she's done with dude. And then she tells us where the ATM is. Flash forward real quick. Dude was trying to get her to take cash out the register to pay him, and then me paid back the hotel. And that's what that look was for. So we go to the ATM, or at least try to go to the ATM. We go to the gas station 5 minutes away, no ATM, get back in the car. So now I'm back in the back seat of this Uber. I want to be very clear. Not at one moment did I feel like my life was in jeopardy and danger. I didn't feel like I was going to be in trouble or anything. I'm like, I'm good here. I'll play my role. I'll participate. I'm cool. Like I'm part of the reason we're in this. You know what I'm saying? So there are roundabouts on the highway in Madrid. You know what a roundabout is, Kadeem? Yeah, I know some people call it something different. So there's a roundabout on the actual highway. I never seen nothing like that in my life. But yo, I never been to Spain before. We did a lap around this roundabout and around another exit and around this roundabout maybe 5 times. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wonder if dog know he doing the same thing. The dog, we doing the same lap. It's about a 2-mile lap around this roundabout and keep coming. I'm like, I can't communicate with this dude. What is he doing? You feel me? Like, what's going on here? So at that moment, I'm like, man, dude could really just get fed up. He's getting hotter. He's getting fed up, talking to himself or talking to me. I can't understand. I don't know. So he's getting fed up. I'm like, dude could just be done and drive away and tell me to get out. And I'll be in the middle of Madrid and just have to find my way back. And it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I order like something from Free Now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I don't want this to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, this is not good. You got any input right now, Kadeem?
Nope.
All right. So he veers from the 5-lap roundabout tour that we went on, and he goes somewhere else. And he sees a pedestrian, talks to the pedestrian. They're talking in Spanish. Pedestrian is pointing. And now it hits the fan. Dude gets on the highway going the wrong way in traffic. The cars are coming in one direction, and we are going in the opposite. We are going in the head-on traffic. Now, Kadeem, I'm a little bit older. If I was a little bit younger, the first thing I would have did was pull out my phone so I could start recording all this. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we do have a podcast. I should have just thought about this from the beginning and like, oh, I got to do this for clicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a click person. I don't think like that, right? So I'm like, yo, this part is not cool. So now, for the first time of this whole ordeal, I feel like, yo, I might have to skip out on this cab. I might have to jump out for my safety out of this car because dog is driving the wrong way in the oncoming traffic. right? So there's like this ramp. It's actually an off ramp, but he's on the off ramp facing oncoming traffic, right? Cars beeping and stuff. He's wiggling out the way, and he skips over to. I don't know how you guys will say it in London, but there's an official U-turn. It's a U-turn for officials only. Like if you're on a highway, only cops can make this U-turn. All right, and he found a gap in the wall to where he could get through the wall into the opposite side of traffic, and then he gets back on the highway that way. That's what he did. So he jumps on the highway and he says, "Policia, policia." I'm like, "See, policia. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. You feel me? I'm ready. I'm ready for the cops. Let's just do it. You know what I'm saying?" So I don't think he really wanted the cops though. I think he was just saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was like, "Yeah, let's do it," he didn't really want to do it, right? So we're back on this Odyssey, and we're traveling, and we get off an exit, and it's a grocery store at this exit, and there's a cop car approaching a stop sign, and I found my opportunity to put my torso out the window. I started waving them in, like, "Hey, yo." He starts waving them down from the other side, like from the other window. And it's two cops, both of them jump out the car and approach the car pretty quickly. And I didn't want to make it seem like this was a life or death emergency, you know what I'm saying? Because, these boys are high alert, they're cops. It was a non-emergency, but we need your attention type thing. You know what I'm saying? So the cops come to the car. He jumps out the car. I stay in the car. He jumps out the car, and the cops are talking to him. And I'm like, they'll come over here eventually, and they'll ask what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be ready. I'm not going to escalate the situation. I'm going to de-escalate as much as I can. I'm not even from this country. Let's relax. Cop comes to me. His English is not that good. Two of them, both of them, their English is not that good. And it's what's going on? And I tell him in English. He's like, "Oh, you English? Espanol?" I'm like, "Nah." And then I had to hit him with the translate, right? And he said, "Oh, this is perfect." That went way more smoother, you know what I'm saying, with the cop, the translate than with anybody else. So I told him what was going on, and basically the Uber would not take the card. All right. Now, it was not a funds issue before y'all get on my dog for having a funds issue, like insufficient funds. It wasn't insufficient funds. Turns out in Spain, there's an option to pay cash for Ubers, and there's a card option in Spain for Ubers. We did not notice at the time, and now we're in this real life situation. So they continue to talk, and I thought this was going to be nipped in the bud real quick. Little did I know this was going to take 45 more minutes. So they start talking to the dude. The cops come back up to me. "Hey, where you from?" I tell him I'm from Miami, Florida, the United States. He says, "Oh, you got a passport?" I'm like, "See, Bert, that's why you got to keep your passport on you." You feel me? So anyway, I give him the passport. That was a W for me, right? But at the same time, I want to be very clear. I'm cool right now. It's not cool, but I'm cool. I'm patient. I'm like, "Yo, we'll be all right." Guy says, "So what happened? Like, why you didn't like how'd you end up in this situation?" I'm like, "Yo, someone else got this Uber for me." You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not know. I just want to take care of it. I just want to fix it. He's like, "Who got the Uber for you?" Like, he's like interrogating me now. I'm like, I'm gonna answer all the questions. I'm gonna play along. And I said, my cousin got it for me. He said, "Call your cousin." Let's get Bert involved in this because he needs some of this too. So I called Bert. "Hey, Primo, what's up, man? The police want to talk to you." You feel me? So cops say, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm pretty sure Bert had to be around you at this time. And I'm pretty sure you seen Bert talking to on the phone and stuff. So cop, I guess, verifies that the story is accurate. I don't know. And the communication still isn't what it needs to be. So they call a translator. Now we wait for the translator. Translator comes. The cop, as when the translator arrives, the original cop comes back to the window and say, "Do you have cash? Can you pay cash?" I'm like, "See, like I need to get cash. ATM. Just show me ATM. I'll pay the man cash, and this is over with." Like, I've been trying to say that, right? So he said, "Oh, this is a grocery store right there. Let's just go get cash." I'm like, "Vamonos. Let's go. Let's right now. Let's do it." You feel me? By this time, we've been in the parking lot like 40 minutes, bro. it's a spectacle, Kadeem. Everybody watching, traffic everywhere. The cops walked me to the grocery store, and now, Kadeem, I either look like a criminal with 4 cops behind me, or I look like a celebrity getting escorted to the ATM. I'm not sure. We get to the ATM, I make this withdrawal, and it kind of dies down. It's like, all right, everything's good now. Cop is like, yeah, yo, man, this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? Even the translator didn't speak that good of English, but it was still cool. Like, you just never know when you go to a foreign country. And I thought it was pretty cool, like, to have the experience of someone who doesn't speak the language of the country when you're in the States, especially in Miami, Florida, when someone from a Spanish speaking country in Miami can't find anyone that speaks Spanish, which is rare because half the city speaks Spanish, literally, maybe even more than half, if I'm being honest with you. So we go back. I pay the driver. Driver's still hot, bro. Driver fire hot. Cop says, all right. I like, yo, I'm getting back to the hotel. And the cop said, you want him to drop you back off? I said, I don't think he's going to drop me back off, bro. He said, well, I mean, we could take you, but you got to sit in the back. I said, put me in the back, bro. And it is what it is. That's my Spanish story, bro. I made it back to the hotel, jumped out the back of the cop car, but it was pretty eventful, to say the least.
Yeah, I only got the other side of that story, which was we were walking to the official Dolphins like fan party. And it's funny, as I think for the first time you called LB, we was walking and we got a message from DJ Pyro saying, hey, so essentially DJ Pyro said he was at the bar. Collins was like, hey, we're on our way. As we're walking, Pyro message saying, hey, we can't get in, so we're going to go and get food. So as you call Bert, I see a big group of guys walking towards me, and I recognize one of them, and it is the guy who Pyro does the podcast with. So I'm like, Pyro must be near here. So he calls down Pyro. First time seeing Pyro in like 2 years. Dap him up. I'm like, hey, Dad. I look, and Bert's down the road on the phone to you. And yeah, I'm like talking to Bert and hearing, you know, your story through Bert. But even then, Bert, you know, only giving a bit of information because obviously he doesn't know what's going on. So yeah, it sounds eventful, sounds absolutely manic, but obviously just glad you ended up okay and we're able to get to the game.
Come on over to overtime with us, and I'll tell you what happened on my return flight back to the United States and why this story started off asking Kadeem about window seats on airplanes. You got anything else for us before we get in overtime, Kadeem?
Nah, I had a different question for overtime, but we'll save it for another week.
We could do
it. We'll see.
All right. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So about a month and a half ago, you know, internet is the internet. Internet does what the internet does. And there was a woman being shamed for not giving up her window seat on the airplane. There was another woman, similar to what Kadeem said. There was a woman with her baby and had her baby at the window, but it was this lady's seat. So the lady was like, hey, that's my seat. So the mom started recording the lady and shaming her for basically wanting her seat and having the baby having to switch seats. So she like, you took a window seat you took a seat from a baby, you made the child move and all the other good stuff. And I told LB, like, listen, bro, I'm not giving up my window seat for nobody, Holmes. Like, if you are like in a a disability type of situation, I would think the aisle you need more access to. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want the window in that situation? You know what I'm saying? So unless there's something there with a disability situation, we can assess that. And then obviously I would be a human being. But just because you're a parent and you want the comfort and convenience of this window for you and your child, nah, Holmes, I don't get down like that. I'm not jumping on a 10.5-hour flight and not sleeping without this window. I need this window. So we get to the airport, and I get to the airport early, 2 hours earlier. Look, 3.5 hours early before my flight. Typically, people get there like 2 hours. If I was in the States, it would be 2 hours early. And when I was in London, it was 2 hours early. But something told me like I want to be a little more early. You never know in a foreign country. I get there, and the guy approached me. Hey, we need 8 people to volunteer. We need 8 people to volunteer, and we overbooked the flight. We will give you a $1,200 voucher. You get a room. We pay for your room, pay for your transportation both ways, give you food vouchers, all this good stuff. You stay an extra day. We get you back home tomorrow. And I'm like, uno mas, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? All right, sure. I call Bert. Hey, I step to the side, call Bert. Bert, they giving out $1,200 vouchers. We get one more day in Madrid. How you going to act? We still get back to work the same time, same day, all this other good stuff. And Bert's, think about it. So I approached the guy. 3 people in front of me took it, bam, bam, bam. And then I take it. That's already 4. You know what I'm saying? They only needed 8 people. I don't like it for Bert. I think some people are going to take it before Bert gets there. Bert probably not coming for like another hour and a half. So I get to the voucher chick lady and just want to confirm some stuff. I got a window seat for this flight. If I give up my window seat for this flight for someone else, do I get a window seat for my flight tomorrow being a volunteer? She's like, I don't know. I said, well, I need to know before I do this. Am I wrong for that, Kadeem?
No, not necessarily.
All right, cool. All right, let's continue. So she's like, I can't make any promises. Now that she has acknowledged that she can't make any promises, whatever happens moving forward is on me now. Like, I have to accept it. All right, cool. So I'm on the list. She tells me, hey, it's a 30-minute trek to your gate. I'm like, dang, that's a long time. Not including security. I'm like, whoo, that is a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we get the security. I get the security. It's about 20 minutes of security, and it is actually a 30-minute trek to the gate. I'm like, dang. So they tell you, get to the gate, don't board with your group, wait to the side, you're a volunteer. We'll see if we need you. So I make it to the gate. I'm gonna be real with you, Kadeem. It was all of 30 minutes. And I got there with 20 minutes of security. So it's probably going to be more than 20 minutes of security for whoever comes behind me. And I automatically assumed they're not going to need volunteers because someone's not going to make it. 8 people are going to miss this flight because somebody's going to be like, oh, I don't need all the time in the world to get to the flight. You know what I'm saying? 8 people are going to, I guarantee half of them are going to miss. So they're not going to need 8 volunteers. I made that deduction by myself. They start boarding the plane. Bert is not even here yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, Bert might be one of these 8. You feel me? That don't make it. So they start boarding the plane. Bert approaches. Turns out he gets the one of the volunteers. He's like the last one. He's like, yo, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully we don't get the flight. I'm like, oh, they boarding right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody congregating around the gate and everything. And they call Bert's name on the loudspeaker. Like, can you come to the desk? They start calling names. And I'm like, hold on, bro. I was before Bert. I should be, like I want to be in the line of order. You know what I'm saying? So Bert goes up and these other people start going to the gate. I'm like, nah, bro. I followed them up. I'm like, yeah, I heard you call some names. Did you call my name? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get some of this voucher. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just wait to the side. I'm like, all right. If Bert gets this voucher and I don't, Kadeem, I'm gonna be hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So we both gotta wait to the side. She's like, all right, both of you guys wait to the side. All right, cool. Turns out the 3 people that I let in front of me, they get their vouchers. I'm like, all right, I should be up. I know how the list order goes. Like, I should be next. You know what I'm saying? So they start boarding, and they call me up. I'm like, I go up. oh yeah, just you're a volunteer, just got to make sure you're here. Da 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 da. Wait to the side. I'm like, all right, wait to the side again. Everybody boards, and there's like a couple people standing around, and they call me again, and they say, oh, you could board. I'm like, all right, so I go ahead and board. Bert stays behind, and I'm like, now that I'm boarding, I hope he gets it. I'm not just gonna hate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope dog gets it, even though I'll feel some type of way. I'm not gonna hate on him and block, right? So I get on the plane, and I like to look ahead, Kadeem. Like I'm 21A. A is a window. I'm already looking around 11, 12, 13. Like, hey, better not be nobody in my window seat. You know what I'm saying? And it's someone in the seat. I arrive at the seat. I'm be honest with you, it was a teenage girl, maybe 13. I'm like, dang. Hey, and there's nobody sitting next to her, but you can tell that there are two people in this row that have been there, but they're just not present. So I'm like, I feel some type of way talking to kids in public, like, yo, we're your parents. You know what I'm saying? So I look at her, I'm like, hey, are you in the right seat? She's like, yes, 21A. I'm like, man, are you sure? And that's the most dialogue I was gonna give her. She's like, yep, I'm in my seat. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get the flight attendant. I'm not gonna talk to this teenager. You know what I'm saying? And let's clean this thing up. As I look for the flight attendant, here come the two parents, and the dad says, "Oh yeah, what's going on, man?" I said, "Hey, yeah, how you doing? I'm 21A." And so, yeah, you mind sitting here for me? And for this is a pretty big plane. There's 3 rows on one side of the plane. There's 3 seats on one side of the plane. There's 4 seats in the middle of the plane, and then there's 3 more seats on the opposite side of the plane, right? And he wants me to sit on the aisle seat in the middle row. And I'm like, well, I should say aisle seat, yeah, in the middle row. And I'm like, no, thank you. I prefer the seat that I was assigned. And he doesn't like it. And he gets disgruntled off the bat. And he says, so I can't sit with my family. Like, you telling me I can't sit with my family because you want a view of your window? That's what he says, Kadeem. And it's not like we're in close quarters and we could like kind of have our library voices. I felt like kind of attacked that you would say something like that, and you trying to bully me out of my window. I'm like, I'm here for this today, bro. Like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You got me on the right day. Let's do it. You feel me? So I say, bro, you know how you have all the good comebacks afterwards? I had so many good comebacks. So I didn't want to stoop to this guy's level. So I hit him with something like professional. And, I said, nah, I just prefer my seat. Whatever. People were looking. And he comes back with another one. And he says, he curses and he says something. And I can't remember off the top, but I didn't appreciate it. And he used language that I would not have preferred in that moment towards me. And composure kicks in, Kadeem. I'm ready to go. I'm good. And I hit him, take the high road with a response. And people around are smiling at the response that I gave this dude. Like, yo, I'm not going to stoop to your level. You know what I'm saying? And the guy in the row in front of us sitting in the aisle looks up at me, like nods his head, like, yeah, this guy was ready today. You know what I'm saying? So here comes the flight attendant because they're not moving. This is a negotiation now for my seat. So the flight attendant comes, excuse me, I got to get past. Excuse me, you know, can we not stand in the aisle? I said, oh, I'm sorry. Someone's in my seat. And she says, what seat are you in? And I say, 21A. The child's still in the seat. And she says, oh, I'm sorry. Where's your ticket? Right. So I show my ticket. They show them their ticket and they tell her she has to go. Right. So dude is big disgruntled, putting on pouting and a tantrum moving stuff out the aisle. One, because I got to get to the seat. You know what I'm saying? They had all their stuff already barricaded. This was an understanding. Like, yo, if you move us out this is gonna take a while to get us out, right? Take your time, champ. We're still grounded, bro. We could wait. You know what I'm saying? So he clears out the aisle, clears out the row. I get to my window seat. This guy's a pretty big guy. I'm not even gonna lie to you, team. Dog got some size on him. Maybe 6'3" higher, maybe 6'4", 235 plus. Dog is not fitting in this chair. Like, so he plops down in the middle seat. I'm in the window. He sits in the middle between myself and his wife, and he all over my side of the seat, bro. I'm like, oh, so this is what it's gonna be for 10 and a half hours. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for it, right? So dude is all moving around, trying to get comfortable, trying to make me like uncomfortable. I'm here for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he says, oh, you a Miami fan? I say, yeah, I'm a Miami fan. He said, where you from? This is still earshot of people who can, like, it's still loud enough for people to hear what's going on. And prior to the flight attendant coming, I really want to be clear. It was almost to the point where phones are about to become, but people started recording this. This is an event now. You know what I'm saying? It's a scene. So he says, where are you from? I said, I'm from Miami. He says, oh, you must not be American. I said, bro, I just said I'm from Miami. And I wanted to add some more sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? But I like, let me not. Because then I felt myself coming out of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to hit him with more than just that. I just told you I'm from Miami. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, but you could not be American and be from Miami. I'm like, I'm done. So he keeps talking, but he's not talking directed to me. He's not talking to me. He's just talking out loud. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bro. So I was comfortable for my 10 and a half hour flight. Dude was not comfortable for his 10 and a half hour flight. But am I tripping, Kadeem, or am I, what's going on here?
Yeah, I probably would have given up the window seat. Like, it's a 13-year-old girl with her family. In this situation, you're by yourself. Like, but then, yeah, like I said, I'm not a window seat person. I'm more than happy to be by myself. I've got my podcast, I've got my video games on my laptop. So yeah, I would have given up my seat, so the family can be together. But then in today's day and age, when you book your flights, you can like choose to sit together, or when you go,
Like I did. Like I chose that seat. You feel me? Like,
well,
so they could have chose that seat.
I'm saying, yeah, like if you're gonna travel as a family, the onus is on you to get the free seats together. And if not, you ask in advance and be like, hey, do you mind giving up my seat so my daughter can sit here? Or if I was them, I'd probably one of the parents go sit with the child so the child's not alone.
So let me clear something up though, Kadeem. They were still in row 21. It was just not the three seats that were together. It was still the first seat in the middle row. So they were still with her. Like, it was just the walking aisle was in the middle of the two. It's not like she was in 25H. You know what I'm saying? She was in the very next seat over that was adjacent to the mother's seat. Do you feel me? Like, the mom could still touch her daughter from right there, in the middle of the walking aisle. So I'm like, nah, bro. Y'all knew what time it was. And you're not gonna shame me or bully me out of my window seat. I need this window to go to sleep, if I'm being honest with you. So nah, I was good with it. And again, unless this person is disabled, bro, I'm not giving up my window seat. So y'all boys see me on that plane, Go Time Dolphins, just know I'm not giving up a window seat. Here, so turns out the plane's finished boarding, and you can hear the door close. I'm like, damn, Bert made it. You feel me? And Bert is in the window seat behind me. Someone's already in his seat, right? But the middle seat there's no one in there. So I'm like, well, how did Bert get the voucher if the plane's not full, right? So the doors closed. So it's a full flight, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And here comes Bert, like walking up and down the aisle. I'm like, dang. I guess Bert didn't get the voucher. He's literally the last person on the plane. And Bert is walking up and down the aisles. I see him. I'm like, dang, bro, I feel bad for my dog when he didn't get the voucher. He's the last person on the plane. He's on the other side of the plane. So now he got to walk all the way back around to come to this side. It's not like you could just walk through the aisles to get over or through the rows to get over because it's a full flight. And I'm like, I wonder how this is going to work because someone's in Bert's window seat. Bert is the type of person. I'm telling you, he's the type of person that he's just risk averse. Like, nah, all right, you can just have it. I'll just sit in the middle. I would have bet everything, bro. Good thing this was not like a what we call our betting segment? Easy money pick of the week. Good thing this wasn't an easy money pick of the week, bro. Here comes Bert. Last person on the plane, tired from walking up and down the plane, disgruntled because he didn't get the voucher. Someone in his seat. He gets to the row, looks at the window where someone is sitting. That dude just gets up and moves right over. Like, you can have it. Why can I get that, bro? So Bert didn't have to tell nobody to get up out of his seat. But that's a Spain story, bro. That's all I got, man.
Then until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace. Oopsie.